Hello everyone, hope you all are doing good. My name is Mansha Hussain and these videos are brought to you by Mahavio. So previously we left the lecture on S3 bucket and the SageMaker cloud pipeline, right? And I gave you a setup guide which had an example using which you could run your entire pipeline and your model would be saved in S3. Now we did upgrade from a Jupyter notebook to S3, but that still lives in S3, right? There is no integrated software connected to it. So this is about that you made a model, now it is in S3, but we still need it in a software. So the best part is it is pretty easy, and I'm sure that throughout this course there's a video that talks about how to get this and get this model from S3 and just integrate it in a fast API backend. It is pretty simple. You just get since it is S3, you have a URL for it, which means you have an endpoint for it, and then your fast API just points at that endpoint when it needs to run that model. So it is just pretty simple. But there are other things that come with it because now your software is going to go live. So what are these other things? This is what we are going to talk about in this lecture. Where we are and where we going. Last time we built the factory, now we will understand the real world use. Cloud training and inference. Question: how do we train at a scale and serve predictions live? Interpretability layer. Why did the model say this patient has diabetes/cancer? What was the model doing? How was the model trained, right? And where was it looking at? Why did it say that this? What was the data? What was the reason that it said what it said? The 2021 FDA AML action plan explicitly requires developers to address transparency and explainability, not just performance numbers. You have to explain. Since we are going in the era of AI, when this was released, they had to tell upfront why is it doing this. You just don't have, okay, it works fine. Why does it work fine? You have to explain that. FDA AML evolving framework, like we said, machine learning was going step by step up, and then suddenly AI came, so they had to rework their framework for this evolving technology. Digital health plan, the last one, is the most important that we need to see. 5 concrete actions for regulating AI health. Traditional 510 is the one-time driving test. AI health is autonomous car that needs continuous monitoring. So every time you submit something, you have to go through that previous steps that we talk about 1 to 3 months or 3 to 6 months. You have to do that all again for every model, not just okay, you upgraded that version of the model, you went from V1 to V2. You cannot simply just or tell them okay, we upgraded. Now you have to show each and everything again, and you have to constantly monitor how it works. GMLP we discussed in the last video, good machine learning practices, and these are 10 commandments that good machine learning practice must have. Principle and their plain English, the requirement basically. Multidisciplinary teams, software practices, safe performance, data management, metrics and subgroups, human AI teaming. It is very important. Once again, you cannot simply let AI control over human lives. Guidance supervision is a must. Data relevance, world performance, real world performance, transparency. Yet again, this is something that the FDA wants from you. Transparency. It did and why it did. Performance monitor, the biggest step in MLOps. A very necessary step. Monitor deployed model performance and retain as necessary. So half of the things were coming from the previous framework that we steps the previous steps we did, and some of them were included in the new 2021. Principle 9 and 10 are regulatory drivers for explainability tools like GradCam and IG, and this is what we are going to see next. What are these two things? You remember, these are associated with the interpretability layer. The change control plan, pre-approval for future changes. Under classic 510, every significant change requires a new submission. Monthly retraining. For monthly retraining, this is impossible. If you are retraining every month, right, like we said, for every version you have to just show everything there is, every work you did, and you have to submit it entirely again. Like we discussed, it takes 1 to 3 months of research. You have to do this, but if you are training every month, it is just simply impossible. Performance goal, methodology, transparency, you have to show all these three things. What metrics must be maintained? How will you test every update? How are clinicians notified? filing a renovation plan with a city council upfront to knock down walls in next 5 years. The inference gap. Like we talked about this in the beginning, a trained model is sitting in S3, nobody helps nobody. To impact patient care, it must be reachable, scalable, and responsive. It must be in a software, either a device or either a website, a web app, or a mobile app. Now, this is very easy because S3 is already sitting on the internet. It has an endpoint. All you have to do is when developers are coding, you have to give them this endpoint that this is the endpoint that you will use for models response. SageMaker Training Jobs. Manage reproducible for AI compute. Okay, so what does reproducible means? We talked about AI being non-deterministic, right? But the pipeline itself is reproducible. Same code, same data, same configuration would lead to same result. And this is mostly with machine learning models, to be honest, not with AI, because AI works a bit different. You know about the transformer architecture there is, it works a bit different. So what are these? What do SageMaker help in? Like I previously said, it is amazing service provider, and to be honest does most of the job for you. You don't even have to worry about the mostly compliances and stuff, because when you select the region, the compliances of that region are applied to it. Like we have the GDPR and the rest of things, all those are attached to it. And since it knows that health AI is significantly more important, it has separate things for it, separate services dedicated to AI healthcare. So 100% managed infrastructure, no, it only works on my device. Like the Jupyter notebook that is going to work for you is not only it is not going to work for anyone else, but that is not the problem with SageMaker. Audit, everything is automatic logging, the results are shown, the metrics, the patterns, the artifacts, everything. Unique ID, now when you're running a pipeline, every run is given a specific ID, so you can differentiate between those. What was the problem previously and what was the problem now? SageMaker endpoint. Serving prediction, real-time inference. There are two type of inference that you can do, batch and real-time. In real-time, obviously, you're needing for ICU probably. Sepsis alert, try dashboard, need response in seconds, continuous HTTPS endpoints. There's a continuous connection because sepsis is pretty important and is life-threatening, can be life-threatening. The patch inference screening, 10K retinal images from a backlog, processed overnight, large scale efficiency. The deployment components are artifact, the model, the endpoint config, simply the endpoint, and the live endpoint the that is most probably connected to the FastAPI backend. Now this can be any backend framework, but since we are data scientists, we use mostly Python. Champion and challenger split, route 90% traffic to approved model, 10% to challenger. Essential for PCCP validation. The black box crisis. Since we said it should be, now we are entering to the interpretability layer. Okay, now that also includes the transparency. We were saying that it is giving the performance, but we don't even know why it is saying this. So that is the black box crisis. Your model should be able to explain itself, or you should be able to explain your model that why is it giving such response? Why is this important? Doctors would not just accept this without knowing where is this coming from. Trust me, the AI says so is not an acceptable medical or regulatory strategy. Clinicians trust doctors won't act on a sepsis alert without knowing clinical reasoning. Learning from failure, if a tumor missed, we must know where was the model looking at. Now this would go to the next step, integrated gradients. Regulated by FDA, reviewers explicitly list algorithmic transparency as 510 requirement. Bias diagnosis, without interpretability, you cannot diagnose why demographic bias exists. That's the core idea. Taxi journey from point A to point B. IG measures how much each feature contributed to the total fare final risk score, attributing prediction to tabular input features, labs, vital demographic, etc. So you're going from one point to point B. You're going from data to prediction. Now this just measures that how much each feature, for example, if there are in a sepsis there are a lot of features that are kept to be in mind and are included as data. So we have to see how much each feature contributed for the final risk score. and the GradCam visualization. If a model detected tumor, right, you know how heat maps work, right? They are basically what they do is they check relationships between the variables and how much correlation is there. This is what they tell, how much there's dependence or independence between the model, between the variables. So this is what GradCam visualization does. If it detected a tumor, we should know that where was the model looking when it detected. Show me where the model is looking. Produces a heat map highlighting regions of an image that most influenced the prediction. Like what was happening in this part, we were looking at separate features, and now we are looking at separate parts of an image. So what does this tell you about these two methods? Input features, right, of the data. So this would be working on a tabular data. Okay, while this works on images. IG versus GradCam, selecting the right tool. Two tool, one shared goal, transparency across health AI stack. Like we discussed, integrated gradients, what are they used for? The tabular data and the imaging. SageMaker clarify. AWS native answer to FDA transparency requirement. Like I said, AWS is amazing at its job. Why? Because everything is included in it. So it's like batteries included, so it helps you so you can just do your job without worrying about the infrastructure and the things that are around it. So you worry about making good model while they take care of all the compliances and regulations and stuff. Analyze data for demographic imbalance or label bias before you train. Post training IG computes global and local feature importance automatically during eval. Model monitor in production detects data drift and alerts when retraining is required. And this is your the compliant AI health AI stacks. So this was all about this lecture. We discussed how if your model gets approved, okay, we have a best model in S3, and now how can we give it to customers to use it, and what are the further steps we have to perform for FDA and the model registry and the version control and all those. So yet again it was a theoretical lecture, so this won't really have anything, not a guide, but as we move on, I'm sure we'll have more guides that you can work on with AWS setups. Thank you so much.